What time it is? Still in the cockpit, flying through. It's your boy Czar, All Rights Reserve. Your favorites time. Let's get into this. Now, aside from the Kodak Black situation that we discussed briefly, there's another serious discussion we need to have. And this discussion pertains to something that I don't know if a lot of people are paying attention to the X situation. The same way that many people popped up trying to take credit for what happened to X, there are just as many women that have made a claim, a dubious claim to be a baby mother. Now, here's the thing. Genesis, you're no different from these claims, because the only difference amongst them versus what we're trying to get, no DNA tests. All of them made claims and gave no DNA tests. You just happen to work your way into a position where you could stand stronger in trying to make your claim, and you could actually pop up outside the person's doorstep to make your claim. And you maybe showed a picture or something to get in or something, but that doesn't even make us understand the fact that what you're saying is credible and true. That's the problem. That's the ultimate problem. And I think that maybe as you get older, you'll truly begin to understand that if you were in a position that Cleo was, and if someone was saying the things they're saying to introduce his family, that they would want to see some type of proof. They would want to, even if she's not requested that of you. We know not, I know not. But I do know that when you say something and show no proof, these are the basic things that you'd request from an individual. So it's like you denying the right of what you wonder and want from someone else, but presenting the prestige and the presence like, oh, I don't have to. Like, that's fine if you feel that way. But understand that you took a narrative and you have to stand on that narrative, good, bad, or indifferent. You can't back out from it. You put yourself down as saying, like, look, everyone, even to get to the news and media, and you had a lot of people around the birth of your son with an ideology that this is the heir, this is what he left behind. If you're going to play that game, what is the fear in a DNA test? I don't understand that. Now, this is not saying Genesis even had any fear. Maybe she has a date set up where she's going to. But ultimately, the problem begins at the fact that you haven't. You haven't. No matter how you want to look at it, you haven't done it. So to date, we don't have you doing it. We don't have you set up doing anything of the sort to prove and kind of quiet the naysayers. That's part of why I said, where's the DNA test? Because if we're going to play that game, you have to play it well, which means you got to cover your bases. And there's no bases covered. All you have down packed is the fact of, I said it, so it's so. But if we play that game, we know you wouldn't side with anyone playing that game on you. Let's be real. You wouldn't side with anyone doing that to you. But that's the ultimate problem. You feel like you could do this, and then if someone did it to you, they'd have to prove themselves. You're just building karma into pure judgment. Because if we're going to just conclude without taking a biased / objective approach and viewership, then we're just assuming forever without the proof, and then you pop up with it later. Like, that's not even the normalities what's done in normal births, where a person wants to know if a child is his. That's insane. It's not sensible. It's unsensible, it's irregular, and it's unfair to fans and family alike. That's part of what I need you to understand. I get that you have some type of narrative in life that you're trying to carry. You have a presence that you want to make stronger in what it is you believe in, but that's the whole ordeal. You have to stand for something or you fall for anything, and that is why this channel prides itself on critical thinking, because we don't operate that way. We don't believe in those things. It seems like you have some type of tight net belief in this type of thing. It's abnormal to us. We don't ride that way. We don't rock that way. But you found a comfort in being this way. And because you found comfort in being this way, you now have a lot of people that are kind of calling you out, that are comparing things, that are messages. I have a message. People have receipts. It's not that simple anymore. Now when receipts are getting introduced and conversations taking place, it's not just accepting what was placed before us. So you can't feed us anything to have us conclude things when there's multiple women on the norm trying to take things into their own hands, saying, well, I am this, I am that. So if you feel it's your legacy, why wouldn't you want to prove it and claim it publicly in a way where no one could argue? That it's almost unsensible. It's nonsense. And that goes to anybody who said they're a baby mother and you didn't take the test to prove it. What were you doing? Testing your speech skills? Testing your deception skills? Why wouldn't you want to show it? Why wouldn't you want to prove it? Don't act as if, like, if you do have children, if any of you allegedly have other children, don't act like there wasn't a point where a man could have been looking as if he was going to ask whether someone was actually his or not. It makes no sense. You want everybody to respect what you say, but you don't want to respect what's requested of you. So whereas it's like giving respect and taking the rest. You can't behave that way. Behaving that way burns bridges. And it's very obvious that you're beginning the phases of burning some bridges by your interactions. And, you know, it could be simple, it could be intricate, but you should have portrayed yourself in a stronger manner of wanting to see people shut up because you have proof. So if someone's asking proof and I have the proof, what do I fear at showing it when it's requested unless I'm taking chances? You know what I mean? It's kind of odd. And even if you know, it's different from someone questioning character and then someone questioning verbatim what it is you're claiming up and down. You're making statements and you're basically saying, I don't owe no proof to anyone. If you do that, and that's not just about the people that came out and said it, but the people that said it behind the scenes. If you don't want to show the proof, you might as well presume that that baby has another father. If you have some big issue with proving to people that I really am who I say I am, it's almost like you saying your name and someone like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You prove it. Why would you not? Now you can say, I don't owe anybody anything, but that's when there's something small and minute. This isn't small and minute. This person that you're claiming is in charge of the genetic makeup of the seed you produced, has a little bit more going on with them than everyone else or every other guy. So you have to take certain factors into consideration before you're sitting here denying to show proof, denying to do things that would quell the thoughts and show respect to the perspective and mindset that a lot of different people are having on what it is that you're bringing to the table. You can't play. You can't play it. It's nothing to play around with. It's not a joke. And in my mind, anyone who's saying that and doesn't want to show, that's a form of disrespecting the deceased. He wouldn't want to know for sure that it's his. It's almost like now the game is, how far can we go with disrespect? Especially when it has to do with a deceased artist or someone famous in terms of making claims and stuff. It's like the respect levels are so low that it's shocking. And it's very unneeded. And it's obviously coming from some state of mind that is of a younger tier, of a younger generation growing up, making conclusions and decisions. This is the very thing that is not needed for the game. This is the very thing that's going to be a problem, not only but now, but in the future. So let's see what happens. What are y'all thoughts? All rights reserved.